I made a special appeal to our political actors, shade the sword. Politics must never be an excuse to destroy a very state that ought to serve. River State cannot avoid the last season of division and agreement. To our you are the strength of River State. Do not allow yourself to be used as tools for violence.
God wants us to forget the past. He wants us to forget the past and seek a better River State.
Well, the state's administrator, Vice Admiral IBAS on Sunday issued a powerful call for peace as the state transitions back to democratic governance following recently concluded local government elections. While speaking during a Thanksgiving service, IBAS urged Rivers people to abandon political rivalry and personal interest in favor of lasting peace and development.
Rivers people must rise above bitterness, rivalry, and self-interest.
Now, wow, say, when somebody is pretending and lying to himself, thinking that he's smart, others are not catching his lies, the person they're doing himself, the person is just deceiving himself. And the worst kind of deceit is the one you do to yourself, the lies you tell yourself. You know what I mean? You know when you are lying and you know that people know you are lying and you bone, you just damn it and continue your lies. In that case, who are you doing? Tinubu, Wike, and IBAS in River State are still lying to themselves. It's just like that lady. When we were growing up those days, there was this story of a young lady. Because she grew up in a very religious setting, she was afraid of owning up to the fact that she was pregnant. It could happen. So many things can lead to that. Accepting the situation from the start is very, very important for healing, making amends, saving the day, saving yourself, saving the unborn child, saving tomorrow. But this same lady kept on lying. This same lady kept on lying to everyone that she wasn't pregnant. Belle they grew. Belle continued growing. Earlier, people believe that actually it could be ordinary sickness. It could be anything and that she's not pregnant. Many people gave her the benefit of doubt. But you know they hide pregnancy. As the days were going, pregnancy was growing. The person insisted she wasn't pregnant. Pregnancy was very visible and due. The person insisted she wasn't pregnant. Baby was born. Even before the baby was born, people started making jokes and saying it is the divine. I don't want to call God. The divine that gave her belly. Maybe she has become a second Mary. I'm not making mockery of the faith, but I'm just narrating a real life incident that happened to buttress my point on hard-heartedness, stiff-neckedness or nakedness. When somebody will keep lying even to himself. So IBAS and Tinubu and Wike are still lying to themselves. And speaking grammar, doing Thanksgiving, saying they've solved the problem of River State. Just like that lady that even when the baby was born, it became obvious now. Evidence that it is not fibroid. It is not any tumor. It is not any sickness, maybe kwashiorkor. It is not anything untoward. It is not spiritual attack. It is something that should be a blessing. But the attitude made everybody now distance from her. That even when the baby was born, she was still saying, Anogebele. How could the people in government behave like this? Just like Akpabio is deceiving himself now. Now, the unconstitutionality that happened in River State, they are doing Thanksgiving and hinting on handing over and saying that they have solved their problems. They have agreed on what? What have you settled? The situation report, the emergency, the security intelligence report that Tinubu got, for which he pulled up the flag of Nigeria, hit the national gong and called everybody and said there is fire on the mountain. I am putting a hold on democracy in River States. In an era where everybody is running away from every form of governance that does not foster equity, foster civil rights, foster peace. Tinubu took us thousands of years backwards in River States just to have his way. just to do exactly what he did on the night of the election with Yakubu, the INEC boss. Can we recount everything Tinubu and his cohorts have used veto, have used open eye, Agbero style, spoiled for Nigeria, collect from Nigerians. And he did all that in Rivers State. Damned the judiciary, damned our constitution, damned well-meaning voices, damned the voice of reasoning. Statesmen spoke, people condemned, people called. Tinubu was hardened, bent on achieving what he wants to achieve in Rivers State through unconstitutional means. Wike was blazing in his arrogance against the state, did what they did in Rivers State. IBAS was desperate to occupy power and yielded to that kind of nonsense. Together, they did everything they did in Rivers State. Ignore the cries of the women of Rivers State, of the children of Rivers State, of youths of Rivers State, of the people of Rivers State. Ignore them, just like they're ignoring Kogi Central Senatorial District at this moment. Had their way. Managed the resources of rivers without any form of accountability to the people. Passed a lot of things through unconstitutional means. Had elections in the hands of non-elected impostor in government. Reversed a lot of the governance equilibrium in that state. And by extension, Nigeria. And now, they seem to have achieved what they wanted and they want to come back. You go through the back door, get what you want, then follow the front door and enter and tell the people to clap for you and follow you that you are Mr. President. For what? This slight on the Nigerian people will continue to condemn it. Nothing will make it right in our eyes. Just like the way we agree that the court made them president. But it never makes it the truth. There's no legitimacy in it. It is legal, but it's not legitimate. What is the difference? The court is empowered by law to decide who to grant favor in any judgment. But they have no right to tell the Nigerian electorates who they voted. As I be now, I know who I voted in elections. And then they come and tell me that, no, that person you thumbprinted for is not who you voted. It is this person that you voted. They follow me cast the ballots. They follow me stain my hands with that GV or whatever. They follow me, enter that cubicle and cast my votes. Now they come out in this open and tell me, no, this is who you voted. That is one inalienable right they cannot take away from the Nigerian people. And we will keep telling them that this is not who we voted, even though you passed it. That's why we call them president. It doesn't mean they are our president. The court called them presidents, and we give them that nomenclature like nicknames, because you can decide to call someone a nickname, a name that is not his name. It doesn't make it the original name. When it comes to substance and matters, the original name will suffice, not the fake name. So, all these things with IBAS Thanksgiving and preparation so-called to leave, he's opening up wounds and reminding us how we got here. The preacher they called telling us that God wants us to forget the past. How? God don't want us to forget any past, because that past forms the basis for making the decisions of today and planning for tomorrow. How can we forget? How can we forget? They say God wants us to forget. I am a preacher's wife. I know that God did not tell us to forget. They are the ones that want us to forget so that they can have the leeway to continue their shenanigans. We will keep reminding them that they made negative history in Rivers State, and it has gone down history lane. We will keep telling even our children that sometime in the history of Nigeria, one desperate men marched on the heads of Nigerians and did what they wanted. Our children will never make that mistake. Knowing in full well that we have reminded them that history is the material with which they will protect today and tomorrow. So, I will still stand stand here to say that everything that IBAS, Wike, and Tinubu have done in Rivers State within this number of months that Fubara is suspended is null and void. It's null and void. We don't recognize it. It is not recorded in the good books of our governance. It is in the black books, and we will not use it to make decisions. It never happened. We will not recognize it. It never happened. We won't recognize it. It never happened. It never happened. And if they want to continue like this, we will remind them that nations have gone to war just because of the price of bread. They have provoked the Nigerian people a lot more than increasing with little sense the price of bread. They have pushed Nigerians to the wall to that extent that we begin to question our Nigerianness. But as far as we know, nobody will take our identity from us. We are Nigerians, and nobody is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. It's a privilege to occupy the position of power. It is not a right to be misused. It is not a right to be misused. It is something, an honor to be respected, protected, and proven to be merited. Oh my, farewell IBAS. May IBAS and Tinubu and Wike never happen to Nigeria again. And once more, they are saying there is no plan for Tinubu to ditch Shetima come 2027. And I laugh. Master strategists, they misshoot sometimes. The worst thing he will even do to himself is to do the same thing. You have started, you will finish what you started. Woe betide Tinubu to change Shetima. He will be a thorn in his flesh. The North will give him a good fight. Or not the North, not the generality of the innocent people of northern Nigeria. The group of people he represents. The people who are willing to fight Ganduje in their locations. The people who are willing to lynch Ganduje. Those kind of people who are willing to inflict mayhem just because they have an interest. He who fetches an ant-infested firewood invited the lizard to a feast. I will still talk about the woes of the APC. This thing that they are patching like this to make it look like it is all well. Therefore, will start from within, because there are so many of them who have vowed not to leave the APC for Tinubu, rather fight from within. Why am I saying all this? May a Tinubu never happen to us again. A Tinubu for presidency is a wrong decision.